Well, I think my idea was we were going to start with Moth Dog's comment, but he wanted us. I'll throw it up right here. He wanted us to say to give or to create our own Pokemon, draw it, and explain its lore. But you said that you got really into it and you're still working on it, so we're gonna go with it next week. Is that right?
I need another week. Yeah. I was like I have like a doodle ready for today, but when I was working on it last minute last night, I was like, no, I'm inspired by this. I want to bust out the pencil crayons and actually do a good job. So I apologize, but yes, I'm gonna need another week.
I had a vision for mine because it's something I thought about in the past. So I knew like what I kind of wanted to do. So I just did mine maybe in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm pretty happy with it actually though. It's
Okay.
colored and everything. It's got the lore, the story behind it.
Oh man, see, I didn't do lore either. Like I got
It's
like
not
just
it's just a little bit of lore. It's like a couple sentences, but yeah, I'm excited to show it. That was a good idea.
yeah. I'm excited to show mine too, but I
Next
have to.
episode.
Yeah, next episode. Sorry, that'll be episode 28. This is episode
Yes.
27 of the Weekly Weedle, and our topic for today is I I will be rating Shug's top 7 hottest takes.
Yeah. Anyway, that wasn't I thought that was the topic, but I re-looked at what you had put in the chat and we were talking about getting viewers hot takes and I misread the what you had put as the title as you wanted me to give you 7 hot takes. So we were
There
pretty confused when I was talking like before we started recording. You're like, wait, what?
there is a miscommunication, so this is what you get.
Yeah. I think it'll
Oh.
be good though. I'm excited to I do have 6 really what I think are good ones. We'll see how much people agree with me. I did try to make them a little more spicy.
I'm putting the bunny girl one at the bottom. Telling you right now.
I don't actually think I had any bunny ones. I don't think. I'll have to we'll see as we go. But you ready for number 1?
Furiously scribbling out the bunny take. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Tell me the first one.
Okay, so number 1, I've kind of mentioned this in lives or other videos I've done in the past, but I think it's a good hot take. Pokemon's popularity in Japan will outlast its popularity in the West is number 1. And that's just in general, but oftentimes can be applied to the investment side or value side of Pokemon, how traditionally or historically we see English as like the better value or investment. People argue, and it's good to hold it long term. But in my opinion, I think overall, in general, Japan or Pokemon in Japan, it's like a cultural institution here. It's just ingrained in everyday life here. I've talked about how it's in the buses, the planes, the trains. It's in beauty products. It's in the manhole covers. It's literally everywhere, and so much so that I don't even realize it anymore. It's like I could go to the store right now and pick out whatever kind of product type. Like there's Pokemon toilet paper. There's Pokemon printed on the toilet paper here. It's in everything, literally everything here. So just knowing that and seeing how much a part of everyday life it is, I think it'll just be here a lot longer than this is very long term. I'm talking than it will be in the West. Even though it's very popular in the West, I just think it's so Japan, and it'll be here forever.
The planes, the trains, and the brains.
Brains.
Yeah, brains.
Okay, I don't know what you mean, but we'll go.
Is that a hot take?
To some people it is, because some people are like, it's mostly probably the investor bros that are English is the best and it'll always go up and always have value, and it's probably true in like a short to long term, but a very very long term, like if you're just going out into infinity, I think Pokemon will last longer in Japan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
longer
of a counter argument, but I think this one's pretty soft. I think
you might be the wrong person for this. I've told people that before and they're like, they get super defensive about it.
I mean, I can see how Pokemon, like there's definitely niches of Pokemon that are bigger in the West. Honestly, obviously English cards
Yeah.
generally speaking, are bigger. But I think like yeah, culturally, Pokemon's like so ingrained in Japan. It's also very important culturally here. But I mean, if Pokemon fades away, like you said, there's just like there's manhole covers, you know? There's stuff like that in Japan. We don't really have that. Like Pokemon we could take down all our Pokemon stuff,
In
throw it
15
all
to
away.
20 years, the kids in like America or in the West will be collecting Fortnite cards or something, in my opinion.
I have some
Maybe not.
Fortnite cards.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've never played Fortnite actually.
Oh, really? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
People hate on it. It's a good game.
All right, so not I guess not so spicy take number one.
Maybe my Fortnite take was spicier.
Okay, this one is gonna yeah right. This one is a spicy take. Um, we'll see. Hopefully. So number two is a grading company upcharges are not a scam, or I guess scam is like maybe not the right word for this argument, but that's what people call it, just for lack of better words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they say it's PSA is just it's just a money grab. There's no good reason for it. They're just money hungry. They don't need to charge this much to grade a card. And even when you get to like the higher tiers where it's like what were we talking about, your lenticular deoxys the other day, if it gets a 9 or a 10, it's like thousands of dollars in upcharges you're gonna have to pay. And if you're a collector, that kind of sucks, right? But I don't think it is a bad thing. I think they should have every right to do so. And I can give you my reasons right now, or you can rebuttal and then I give you my reasons.
I'll just say scam is like people use the word scam a lot. Um, scam is not just because you're upset and you don't like it. Scam, it has to be fraudulent. Where with PSA, you're getting what you pay for. You're getting an opinion. Like there's some drama. PSA's been involved with some stuff that could be labeled as a scam, but generally speaking, grading is not a scam. And I think most people who listen to this podcast regularly know I'm a binder collector, so I'm not like trying to stick up for PSA or grading, but no, it's not a scam. That being said, the upcharge, I think it's pretty icky. I don't know. I'd like to hear your
Why do you think it's icky, I guess?
I think it could be I think it could be reimagined. They could definitely do something differently because it does paywall someone like me or someone who just wants to send in their card. I have this lenticular deoxys. I showed it to you. It looks super clean. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I want to get it graded, but I'm kind of like worried that it's going to get a 10 because it's going to cost like 4 grand to grade. And I honestly, I want it in a slab, but I don't want to pay that much to have it in a slab. So my option is CGC or tag now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people are like, well, what if I'm a collector and I just want it in the slab? Why should I have to pay more? Because a lot of people can't pay that $5,000. And my answer to that is go to a different grading company. There's companies that don't have as high of upcharges, or they don't have upcharges at all. They have a overall insurance fee they charge for in case something happens. But why do you need a PSA slab? Was what I ask usually. And some people go, oh, I like the PSA slab, or the other reason is because, and I think this is the primary reason people might not want to admit, but because PSA has that value add. They're the number one selling most liquid, most valuable slabs on the market. So that's one of the reasons I think that they should be able to charge that, because they are adding a lot of value to your card. We see like first ed Charizards regularly in a PSA 10 sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars more than a CGC 10. So that's I guess in my opinion why I don't disagree with it. Like if they want to get their chunk of the money, then they should be able to do so. And if you don't as a collector, if you're a true collector, in my opinion, you should be just, enjoying the card, and that's what you're collecting. You're not collecting the slab. You can, in some sense, you know, it gives it, a certain eye appeal, but um, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that, really.
So you're saying this upcharge is basically like security that supports the increased value of a PSA slab?
I think partly, yeah. I think partly it is because of, like, in case something happens and it's mishandled during their encapsulation process or getting sent back to the person, it's a part of the insurance fee, in case
That
something does
too.
happen. Then they have, money to pay you back. And everybody was up in arms when that Deoxys got mishandled and went from a 10 to a 6, and they're like, oh, they should pay this guy, 45,000. They're only giving him 20,000. That's not market. And everybody's mad about it, but that's what the upcharges are for. That's like an insurance fee in case something like that does happen. They can pay the people out. And maybe people argue that that's too much. They're charging too much, and that the insurance shouldn't cost that much. But part of my answer earlier I was saying is, PSA is making money on this. They're a business, and if they have that much of a value add, twice as much, as other companies, then they should be able to get some of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. I would much rather see, I'd like to see um, grading companies be a little more equal. I don't like that PSA is so much higher than the rest.
But whose
Um,
fault is that?
no, it's definitely our fault. I'm just saying, like, I don't really see a world where CGC and Tag or another company are going to be equal to PSA without implementing those upcharges themselves. It's either everyone has upcharges or no one has upcharges, is kind of how I see it. If in a world where we have multiple grading companies that are equal.
Yeah. I will say CGC has been, like, growing in their amount graded. I forget, I haven't checked in a few months, but GemRate puts out those numbers
Yeah.
monthly, how much each company has graded per month. And I remember when CGC, it's only like 2021 or something, it came around 2019. They started grading cards instead of just comics, but um, they were like, I don't know, 1% of what PSA was grading, and now they're grading like 25% or 40% of the what PSA is grading. They're just like, they're growing a lot. Same with Tag. Tag's getting really popular. It's got a niche following of people. Um, I do get what you're saying, though. It's like good to have competition, to keep those bigger companies in check and make them do better, and provide a better service for people. Keeps them, like,
I
accountable almost.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I think they could reformat it a little bit though. Like cap it at $1,000, 2,000 maybe. I don't know. It just,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, they probably
maybe,
could, but they have so much
or
demand, maybe. I don't know.
you know how you can submit a card and then sell it on the vault directly. Maybe that's where the upcharges come in. Like if you want to get the card back and keep it or sell it yourself, then maybe you can pay less. I think there's some sort of compromise somewhere that they can make. Because yeah, it's just silly if I saw a Reddit post years ago where someone found like a mint condition first edition Charizard in their childhood collection, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should grade it. Should grade it." And he's like, "I can't afford to grade it," you know. And like this guy's obviously wants to sell it because it's life-changing money for him, but he can't grade it. And like, yeah, so what? Take out a loan now?
I was just
Like
gonna
that's
say, take out a loan.
yeah, that seems a little crazy to me. Um,
It is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
they
see
could
both
do.
sides, I guess, but
I think they could do some work on it, but I don't disagree with the upcharge. I don't like it, but yeah, from a business
yeah,
standpoint, it makes sense. But I think it could make more sense if they changed it.
fair enough.
But yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. This one's probably not as spicy. Maybe it is. I don't know. Number 3. Even though some cards are at their all-time highs currently, some low pop cards are still undervalued and should be purchased now before it's too late. FOMO. That was my take. So, yeah, I think low pop is a big thing right now. A few years ago, I've kind of always, like we talked about last episode, liked exclusive things or rare things or things that are low popped. But that wasn't like the general sentiment of everybody in the hobby. Nobody really looked at population reports for the most part, I would say. But it seems like more so people are talking about low pop cards and what's the pop on this, and like the find card on Instagram. They always put like with the prices of cards that sell, they'll put pop 10 or PSA 10 like 100 in the pop or whatever it is. So a lot more people looking at that and valuing that more, the lower pops. I think even with where we are in prices being extremely high, there are some cards that are still worth picking up and that may never retrace even when the market, does. They'll stay at where they're at or keep going up even. And that's maybe a spicy take because some of these cards are at all-time highs. And they've never, everything's extremely high right now. So some of it does worry me, honestly, seeing certain cards, how expensive they are. And I'm like, that just can't stay that way for that long.
Yeah, I think to clarify a little bit, I think you mean pop that is correlated to the card's rarity.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's cards that people just don't grade because they don't like them, like common cards, like modern bulk cards. I know. Shout out to Deej thinking that's like his forte. He grades modern bulk cards, and because he always says there's somebody out there that probably wants it, and there's not a lot of people grading those cards. But that is like a good point. Yeah, it's pop because it's low pop because of its rarity and difficulty to find.
What about difficulty to grade?
I believe in conditional rarity. The Top Sun cards. I've never graded any Top Sun hollows personally higher than a PSA 6. That's as high as I've graded a Top Sun hollow myself. I did recently I cracked a bunch of my 5s and 6s, and I think a couple 7s that I bought off eBay. About 10 cards that are all Top Sun hollows, and I sent them all to CGC, and I got an email today saying that they arrived. So I've heard CGC is a little more lenient on the Top Sun cards. Some people say more lenient. I say they know how to grade them better. But yeah, I don't know.
There's your hot take.
Yeah, right.
No, I think you're probably, I don't know. I don't know if I 100% agree with this. I don't even know if no, I'm somewhere around, what's what I'm looking for? I'm very cautious about this one. I do think that there's hidden promos and rare cards that haven't hit the mainstream and really blown up yet. Yeah.
What about like a card like this? What would you say? So I showed this a couple episodes ago or last episode. Would you say that I bought this? You know the price I bought this for, right?
Yeah.
Did I don't know if I said it on the pod or not, but do you think that this will continue to stay at where it's at, go up, or retrace in the future?
I think it's likely
the market retraces.
I think it's like, when there's a correction,
when there's
in
a
the
crash
market
or a correction, do you think this will also follow that? You want to offend me?
Do you know the population on that?
Yeah, so PSA 9 is pop 73 and PSA 10 is 103.
Oh.
There's 176 nines.
There's less
and 10s.
nines?
There's less 9s.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know there were that many 10s.
Yeah,
did you look at the English? I was just curious
I don't look at anything.
Just curious how that compared.
I probably should have, just out of curiosity, like if I'm gonna buy a card like this, but yeah, I never looked at the English. I think this is like a low pop card that will if it does, when the market crashes or retraces, corrects, whatever you want to say, it will either stay at this or it'll very little, maybe like 10%, it would retrace. I don't think it'll be very much.
I think if there's a correction, I think that Torchic's also probably gonna dip. Um, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it's a really strong. I think you made a really strong purchase there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't really see it being immune to a correction.
Okay. What about trophy cards? Like illustrators or I guess any like old promo trophy cards.
I mean,
Those are really low pop.
but we saw cards in 2021 like break records like
Yeah.
over and over again, and everything corrected. Like I can't really think of something that didn't that had sales.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. There was a lot of cards that were at all-time highs like we see now, and that did correct a lot. Some of them, like the Top Sun Charizard, 90% or something
Well,
crazy.
that's a niche case, but
It is. It was misinformation, or people believed it was something that it wasn't. But I just think the market's in such a different place now. Like the people that are in the market right now, and the kinds of money that they're bringing in is just it's a new ball game. Um, like I said, 2 years ago, if I saw a card that had 10x in a year and a half, I would never have bought it. I felt way more comfortable buying this card that 10x in a year and a half when I made the purchase. Um, I don't know. Could be. It could all go to zero.
I will say I don't think that Torchic is going to correct very much. Like
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to go down to half or anything like that. I
I'd
I
buy
think
more.
yeah.
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 I don't know how spicy these are. I'm not getting any reaction out of you.
No, last one sparked a good discussion. Can you repeat this one for me? I'm writing these down.
Number 3 was, even though some cards are at their all-time highs, some low pop cards are still undervalued and should be purchased now before it's too late. FOMO.
Okay, give me the next one.
um, Man, now I'm feeling self-conscious about these. They're not as good as I thought.
Uh-oh.
um, Most new collectors have built their collections on dollar signs and hype. Most people coming into the hobby now are building their collections based on what they see other people have on YouTube or social media, and they see that cards are expensive, and they're like, "Ooh, that's the card everybody's chasing. I want that." Rather than 10 years ago when nothing was super extremely expensive and people, it was more what do you like, what looks good to you, what are you attracted to, it seems like, and that still is a thing for people. I just think it's social media is value just has become such a big part of collecting, and it's always in our face with the numbers popping up when people are opening packs on pack rips, or everything is like, oh, is that an expensive card? Or it's not like, oh, is this a cool card? It's always, how much is that worth? And so it's just in our face all the time. And I think some people, especially new people that haven't seen ups and downs in the hobby, or been here long enough to just know what they want, and they just go on kind of with what the crowd is telling them is cool.
I think I want to agree with you. However, I haven't really found that to be the case when I've been involved in the community in person,
That's
like
very
at
true.
events or when I've been vending. I haven't really picked up that vibe. It feels like people are collecting what they like to collect when it comes down to like regular people. We're on social media, we're getting this like hyper concentrated algorithm of like wealthy collectors where
Mm.
it is very monetary focused. I feel like looking through the lens of social media, you're absolutely correct. But what I've experienced in person actually tells the opposite, where like these cards are just kind of out of reach for most of us. And like, let's be honest, right? I think most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I think most people kind of default to just collecting what they like. And then it's that like upper third of collectors who are like really skewing the perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about this when I wrote it, and maybe it's just my algorithm. And like you said, looking at it through the lens of social media, it appears that way. But I started vending recently, and you were bringing up how when you interacted with people, you haven't noticed that. Um, and that's actually very true. Like I've only vended 3 shows, but there's a lot of people that are. We talked about it last episode. There's a girl that wanted cast form cards. I was like, I don't got any cast form cards. Like, and then people love Psyduck. And then I have this $3. It's those 4-row box of like you can put 5,000 cards in there. I have those filled with like $3 cards. That's like the thing that people wait in line for is that box. So yeah, that's a good point. Is the most of the times I've interacted with people in even in your Discord, a lot of people are some niche collectors out there, just like Doomy with Darkrai, and the species collectors are those people that don't necessarily look for value in what they're collecting, but just what they like.
I was just gonna say the Sleeve No Card Behind Discord server is very much like just focus on like collecting what they like.
Yeah. All right. Good points.
Okay, I poured some milk on your spice there.
Yeah. It's like nothing crazy yet. Okay, so number 6, this kind of goes in line with the last one, or maybe number 5. Sorry, Pokemon cards Pokemon cards being more expensive will benefit collectors as more collectors' collections will be forced to become more personalized due to monetary restraints. So because cards are so expensive now, people have to kind of get creative with what they're collecting, because cards that maybe they wanted before are just out of reach. Kind of like you said, a lot of cards are out of people's budgets now, and so it kind of forces them, in my opinion, to have to go find other things that they can collect, and that may be stuff that's maybe not as looked at, and so their collections become more personalized because they're naturally attracted to certain things that they wouldn't have looked at before.
Is that happening? Like on a mass scale?
I don't think so yet. I think it is maybe becoming that way.
I've seen it.
Anecdotally,
Yeah, I've seen it.
like here and there.
Yeah, but I don't know if we've seen like a big shift yet. You know what I mean?
Not a big shift. Yeah, it's just something that I've noticed here and there when I've listened to content creators talk about things, or just people in the hobby are looking at different sectors that they might have not looked at before, and it's getting them to it's forcing them to go deep dive and look at the niches of the hobby and find different things that are undervalued or that are really cool still but really affordable. We brought up cards here. Like this is a good example of a card that I think is a really fun card, but it's really cheap. It's the Greninja from Night Unison,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got the Charizard shadow, and the Greninja's like looking up at it. It's a really cheap card, but it's a really fun card, and I don't know. Finding those cool things that are still cheap is I don't know what people are doing, I think, right now, because they don't have the money to go buy whatever they wanted to before.
Shug, that wasn't that spicy.
Is maybe I misunderstood the assignment.
That wasn't a hot take.
I don't know.
All right, that's okay. I'm gonna probably put that one at the bottom.
Okay. Are you rating these?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a spicy one, I think. I keep saying that, and then you're just like not impressed. Evolving Skies will surpass base set unlimited in price. Sealed boxes. Evolving Skies booster box will pass the base set unlimited booster box in 20 years.
Ooh.
I'm just gave a timeline.
That is spicy. You think so, eh?
I don't know if I'm super confident in that, but if any modern set could do it, it would be Evolving Skies. When we were seeing it start to spike a couple years ago, a lot of people were saying, maybe it was a year ago, but Umbreon is the new Charizard. This is going to be people that grew up in the Sword and Shield era. This is going to be their base set Zard. This Umbreon VMAX, the Moonbreon. And it's done stuff that other sets just haven't done in that timeline. Modern sets, at least, or any set really, hasn't grown that fast in any timeline in Pokemon. And so I think I kind of stole this one. I think Grimer, TCG, I think we just call him. I think he's just Grimer. He is the one that said this one time in a live a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that. That's actually a pretty good spicy take." Um, don't know if it'll actually happen, but there is a lot of base set booster boxes, from what I understand. There's probably a lot of Evolving Skies booster boxes, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think I disagree. I think a modern set could surpass Base Unlimited, but I think it would be Team Up before Evolving Skies.
Hmm.
And if not, if I had to pick another one, no, actually, I think it's between those two. I think it's I have more confidence in Team Up.
Okay.
Evolving Skies, I think there's just a lot more Evolving Skies. I think Team Up is much more scarce. Yeah, and that Latios Latios is I believe it's worth more than the Moonbreon too.
Yeah, I think
It
you're right.
doesn't quite have the pop culture significance. I think the Moonbreon is quite
I
a
think
bit
it's
bigger.
yeah. As far as like being talked about and
Mm-hmm.
recognized, there was like a couple months period where the Lovebirds, the Latios were like on everybody's channel. Everybody was talking about it, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I'm gonna rate that one spicy because I disagree. I think maybe, but it would be Team Up. I don't think Evolving Skies will.
Okay. Maybe these aren't spicy because we agree on a lot of stuff. Or maybe they're just not spicy. I think I have one more, and I don't think you're going to disagree with it. So it's going to be
Okay,
sweet. It's a sweet take.
okay.
99% of PokeTube investment bros have little to no prior experience investing in traditional assets and are giving shit advice to their viewers, um, mostly regarding how confident they are and how confidently they present themselves, and giving advice to people on how Pokemon will always go up. It's always gone up. That means it'll always in the future go up. Invest now, buy this. You're dumb if you don't.
Um, I'm actually not gonna agree
Ooh, okay.
completely. I think I get what you're saying, and I think sort of like on a surface level, I would agree. Like I think, yeah, I think Pokemon's been a really honestly, this might be a hot take. I think it's been a good entry point for investing for a lot
Hmm.
of people. Traditionally, investing's been pretty intimidating, I think. At least I know for me growing up, I always wanted to invest when I was like in my late teens and stuff, but I was like, I was really like the stock market scared me. I didn't have parents, I wasn't around people who were like interested or like educated in that kind of thing. So it really scared me. And I think that's probably normal for a lot of people. And I think that investing in Pokemon is probably a pretty good gateway drug for people to get an opportunity to step up and do some more traditional investing in index funds or real estate or something like that. Um, but yeah, I think like yeah, Pokemon investing in Pokemon has probably taught a lot of people a lot of things, like what ROI means. and you're saying retrace in the market. That's like a stock market term, you know. So I think I would disagree. Um, but I wouldn't I wouldn't listen to investor bros at the same time. I
Yeah,
I
I don't.
don't
Go ahead.
I don't think it's bad advice, but I think it's like novice advice. I'll put it that way. There definitely is some bad advice out there, and I have definitely come across some channels or pages where people are like, you have to buy this because this is going to happen, and I'm like, hard no. Like, that's wrong, right? There's
Mm.
definitely people who have gotten into Pokemon within the past year that don't know what the heck is going on regarding like investing in the market. But I wouldn't say 99% of investors. I'd say that's a much, much, much lower number. I think most Pokemon investor bros are doing an okay job compared to the average American's knowledge in investing.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a good Pokemon investing or whatever is a good like what.
You agree with me? I disagreed with you.
No, I think you're right. It's a good introduction. I didn't say it wasn't a good introduction to investing. I said that the people giving the advice, the content
Fair.
creators that are Pokemon investors or investment bros, whatever they call them, don't have any real experience, prior experience, most of them in like investing, and this is their only experience. And when your only experience of investing is in a market that in the last 5 years has been just going up for the most part, we've seen some like minor retraces, but it's gone up for the most part, significantly. It makes you look really smart and looks like you know what you're talking about, and it makes you confident, and that's the way they present themselves, is like they know this, and they're like, oh look, I have the receipts to prove it, look at all my gains and stuff. But this market is so risky. Collectibles, it's a wholly different market from investing in something like traditional stocks or index funds or real estate that has such a long history. 30 years is not a long history. And it's a pop culture thing. It could be relevant, super relevant, and we could see all these gains, but it could become irrelevant very quickly. If nobody decides, if something comes along and takes Pokemon's demand away, things can quickly go very bad. And for most people to have, I feel like a lot of people, maybe these investor bros are, they would agree with this, and they're just doing it for the sake of the content, and they only have so much time to get across their point. So they can't preface it with a hey, caution every time, like be careful, or don't do this or don't do that every time. But I think they're just too bullish, too overly confident, and um, they don't talk about the safety and the risk involved with it all the time. And so people are just blindly following and have most of their net worth in this, or over leverage themselves. So yeah, I guess that was more my point, but I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, I would agree with most of that.
Okay.
All right, it's time to rate these 7 hottest takes by Chuck.
0, 0, 0, 0.
No, I think okay. I'm gonna start at the bottom. So your coolest take would probably be Pokemon's gonna last longer in Japan.
Okay.
I think that's like,
Dude, that gets people going sometimes, though. Some people are like, what? No,
yeah,
English
well,
cards are so much more valuable.
lots of people do drugs, so
Yeah.
that probably has something to do with it. Um, I'm gonna say,
They were so good that you're having a hard time ranking them, right? They were so.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so low pop, your low pop undervalue one. I think that's next. I think you're probably
Okay.
right about that. I think there's still a lot of um still a lot of opportunity for some cards to sort of like see the spotlight and get what they deserve. Um Collections getting better because prices go up. I'm gonna rate that one next. I agree with that. I think that's probably true. I think we haven't seen like a mass market shift though. I think we're just sort of seeing like some people do that right now. So I think you're right, but I think you're off the target a little bit on that. New collectors being all about money. That's the next one. I think that is getting kind of spicy there. Know what? I'm going to switch it. I'm going to say your final point there with the investors. I'm going to put that at 4. I'm going to put your collectors all about money at number 3.
Okay.
Number 2 spicy is the Evolving Skies passing base set. And I think your spiciest take is the PSA upcharges. Even though I think you had a pretty good argument
like
on
that
that,
one.
I think that's
my favorite.
I think some people are gonna be fired up.
Let me know in the comments. Somebody
Yeah.
was not liking our tier list last week. They're like, to do a tier list like this is, I forget what they said, but they said we should have just did them separately. And I was like, oh, sorry. We had fun.
Sorry.
It was just a fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually forgot about that tier list as soon as we uploaded the video. I haven't thought about it since. So if you're still thinking about it, it's just Pokemon cards. Relax.
It kept me up at night. I was like, damn, I should have put Sword and Shield higher.
Where did we put? I don't even remember.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I really don't remember. I just remember EX and base were S tier or WotC. Yeah.
Do you have any updates before we get into the news?
No, I mean, I think most people, well, not most people, but me and Dark Ibex, we did our live a couple days ago. We had our science experiment where we sent a bunch of PSA slabs to ARS and then had them crack them and regrade them, and that went really well for us. We didn't think it was going to go as well as it did. I got some really cool cards back, like the this came back. The Top Sun Blue Back Vaporeon was a PSA 9. They bumped it up to a 10. I was pretty confident in that. And then same with this, where this was a PSA 7. It shouldn't have been a PSA 7 in my opinion. It was a strong card, a little bit bottom heavy, but they put ARS gave this a 9, so I was happy with that. I think I'm gonna crack this out. I wasn't, but I think I'm gonna crack it out and send it to ARS outside the slab as a raw card, and I think it has a chance at getting a 10 with ARS. And then this was the joke of the episode was this is a very strong PSA 10. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know. Even Ibex looked at it and he has a better eye than me. Said he didn't see anything wrong with it. And I sent it as a PSA 10 to ARS and they gave it a 9. So not sure why, but it's getting cracked and sent back.
Bummer.
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody wants to go see that science experiment, go to Dark Ibex's channel and we go over all 20 cards and the outcomes, the results on that. It was fun. I definitely want to do it again. I already got a pile started, so.
Cool.
Let me know if you want to add a card. You want to do your CD promos?
Kind of.
No way, really?
There's part of me that, I don't know. I think vintage Japanese looks so good in ARS slabs.
It does.
I'm not a big fan of English cards in ARS or modern, but vintage Japanese in ARS looks great. I think it would.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I kind of like, I mean, I'm a vintage collector, but I kind of like the modern cards too in there. But I've heard multiple people say the same thing as you. Is like Henry's Poke Corner. He says the same thing. He's like, for vintage, it looks sick.
Yeah, it does. But their prices have gone up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So there was I think a post today on X or Twitter, and they just had so much demand recently in the last few submission periods. For those people that don't know, ARS has like submission windows every couple months where you can submit 20 cards to them. It's not open like other companies, but the demand has just been so crazy that these submission windows that are supposed to last 2 or 3 days close in like an hour and a half. So they have a really strong demand for them, especially here, and they've kind of had to bump up. They say it's because of like logistics and cost of raw materials has gone up, which is probably true, but it'll also maybe be because of demand. It hasn't gone up much, so bulk submission fees are like 3,300 yen in the past, and I think, let me see the websites here, they only bumped it up by 200 yen, so it's 3,500 per card now, which is like $1, I don't know, 40 more a card, which is not bad. The only other thing is they did reduce the value of like the card that you can submit under that standard tier. So previously it was 50,000 yen, which is about $300. And now it's 300,000 yen, which is like 180, or 30,000 yen, which is like 180. So you'd have to, any card above 30,000 yen, you have to submit to the next tier, which costs more money.
Have you ever graded in one of the higher tiers?
Not with ARS. And Dark Ibex and I were actually looking about like at some of the cards that we got graded this round, and they're cards that were probably could have been upcharged, but they didn't upcharge us for any. Because I think they, unlike PSA is like wants to the value of the card to be what it is, what you think it'll be graded. So if you think the card's going to be a PSA 10, you value it at that PSA 10 value. ARS doesn't have like a huge market, so it's kind of hard to do that. And so I think it's the raw value of the card that you're using when you submit. But it's even so, I think we had a couple cards that we sent that are probably could have been maybe above that, and we didn't get upcharged. So
Do you
either we got
think
lucky or
could that be like what we were talking about earlier with PSA's upcharges? Do you think that would be a good compromise? Going off of raw
raw card
value?
value. No, not really. I because the looking back at the Deoxys, like a raw near mint Deoxys is not $93,000 or $45,000, whatever the market was at that time. So the guy sent it in a slab as a PSA 10. So why would you go off the raw value?
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
for raw cards, like sending in raw cards under the raw value. But then I guess when they're sending it back, does it have that value of that 10 if you get a 10? And what if it gets misplaced? Are you just going to get the raw value back? Are people okay with that?
uh, that's not, yeah, I'm not sure if that was really my point, but now you're making me second guess myself. But we don't have to get back into that.
Okay.
Yeah, so ARS prices went up. Kind of a bummer, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah, not 200 yen. I got 20 cards ready to submit. On the 17th of April is the next submission period. So I'm going to send my 20 cards and then maybe do a video when it comes back. I don't know.
Cool. We got some new promos. They are Indonesian promos.
Ooh.
So, yeah, don't expect these to come out in North America or anywhere other than Indonesia. But it's part of a Japanese restaurant food chain that exists only in Indonesia.
Is that
Eh,
Gyukaku? No,
yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
Is
something
it?
like that, right? Is
Oh, it
it
is Gyukaku. But we have that here.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a yakiniku Korean barbecue restaurant.
Okay. But I don't think
I don't think
um
we're getting promos.
no, yeah, I think promos are just on the Indonesian cards. There's four. They're all fire types because it's spicy. We got Score Bunny, Char Cadet, Charmander,
Ooh.
and Ponyta.
Ooh, I like the Char Cadet. Char Cadet looks badass.
Yeah, I think they all look pretty good. So yeah, if you're some sort of hardcore species collector for one of these Pokemon, then there is a stamped Indonesian promo coming out. I don't think these should be too difficult to get your hands on.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Other news, we've got the international version of Abyss Eye confirmed to be called Pitch Black. But
That's cool.
that's all we really know.
That's a cool
Uh,
name.
there's rumors, but yeah, that's all we know. That's all we have confirmed so far. Is a name. Oh, and I think a release date. I think we actually talked about that last week. I've heard some
Yeah.
people saying that this set's gonna have like Gengar in it.
That's what I heard today.
I'm pretty sure that's a rumor, or do we know what's in Abyss Eye yet?
I saw so Darkrai is an Abyss, right? Or that's what
Yeah,
is
it's
likely.
yeah,
The
Darkrai's
Mega
like
Darkrai.
the mascot for this set.
Okay. Um, I saw it. I don't know if this is real, but it's you know how like around the time a new set pops up, people start putting out these cards, and then they're like, oh, everybody's like, is this a real art? This is so cool, and then it's like AI or something.
I will say they've all been fake except for the Phantasmal Charizard.
Yeah. So I saw this one, and it has an artist that is a Pokemon artist, but I don't know if that means it's real. But usually you could tell and look at the artist, and it's somebody that's not an artist. This says Midori Harada, and I don't know. I haven't seen this confirmed anywhere. I just saw one person post it, but it kind of falls in line with like the Mega Charizard, where it's got that whole evolution line. The Mega Dragonite card has the whole evolution line, and it would be very cool if they added another Gengar. But the VMAX is what throws me off because there's a Gengar VMAX in the back, and they haven't done that.
Yeah, so I scrolled past this last night, and the one thing I noticed is the border is missing. That the Megas have this new style border where it almost has like a almost like a cracked ice behind the silver there,
Oh, okay.
and it's missing
Yeah.
that in the card image there.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was probably real because I looked usually on Japanese X like Twitter. I can find a lot more people posting about it, and like zero people posted about it. So this is just from one person.
Also,
That'd be
that
cool
looks like
though.
a high-res scan, but there's texture on it, um, which is a little confusing because like either we get blurry ass photos
Yeah.
or the official images that come out, they don't actually have texture on the official images.
Yeah. Right. That's true. Um, it'd be really cool if we got another Gengar card though. Gengar hype is like it's crazy right now.
I kind
Do
of
you think they're
hope
gonna do
not.
like an all black box, pitch black?
That'd be cool. I am hoping we are seeing things cool off a little bit with Perfect Order and Chaos Rising. I'm hoping Pitch Black carries on with that. It's really cool to go to the store and see Perfect Order on the shelf. It is really nice to
Super
see
cool
them.
to see a set I don't want.
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't walked past packs for a while, but the Munikasu Zero or Nihil Zero, I they were on the shelves, and I'm like, nope, no thanks. Um, and I think that's probably one of the reasons. It's like there's not a lot in there to me. That some people like the Mega Star Me, and then that Clefairy is really cool, but other than that, there's not much going on.
I really like the Clefairy. I really like the Meowth.
The Meowth like full art, is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the coins.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that a lot. I'm hoping Abyss Eye. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a Gen 1 banger like Charizard, Gengar, Umbreon, so I would expect that in this set, but I'm kind of hoping it's another dud.
yeah, that would help. It would help things cool off, keep going off.
Maybe it would
Um,
help. I feel like these duds are kind of throwing a lot of attention back on older sets and vintage,
very true.
which I
That's
also don't like. It's kind of a lose-lose, I guess.
yeah, they need to make a banger set so we can have cheaper vintage.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
I think did you see the box prices of Japanese 151 like doubled
No, but yeah, I mean the
in the
English
last
ones
week?
have gone up.
Have they?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I thought they were up all the time always, but they've gone up
Yeah.
even more.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, the booster boxes I think we're like 180 to 200 like a week ago. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but here in Japan, based on like the platforms we have here, that's how much they were around there. And it's like 450 now a box. In just like a week, it shot up. I had like some people that know I have boxes were just like hitting me up and they're like, hey, you want to sell? I'm like, no. And then I like they're eventually I found out why everybody was asking me. And I was like, oh, it's just going crazy. People are like FOMOing and like trying to get it before it goes up even higher. But yeah. I wish I had more.
It's crazy. I mean, prices shoot up and people are buying.
Yeah, it's literally a FOMO. They're worried they're not going to be able to. They're like, oh, here it goes. I got to get it before I can't. Um, kind of why I bought the Torchic.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I've been there.
yeah,
We also got the new illustration collection revealed. So this is series 2. So we do have an official image. It comes with a perfect order booster pack, a Chaos Rising booster pack, and the Series 2 first partner illustration collection booster pack. So this features Generation 2, 8, and 5.
nice.
And I'm kind of
Yeah,
conflicted.
Johto, Unova, and what's 8?
Uh
I shouldn't have said
Shoot.
anything. We should have just went with 2, 5, and 8. All
um
right.
I'm a little conflicted about like whether this box is going to be a big deal or not. I mean, I feel like the first partner pack is good. We got Gen 2, Gen 5, both very big. But the product has Perfect Order and Chaos Rising in it. And I feel like people are just not as interested in that.
I don't think it'll matter. I think people just want that pack in the middle. They want that first partner illustration collection.
Well, the first one has Mega Base and Phantasmal, which both are both good sets.
Yeah, that's true. Those are really good sets.
So I don't know. I'm thinking this one. I think I'm pretty confident it's going to be cheaper. I just don't know by how much. Of course,
Mm.
MSRP will be the same, just to be clear. But I mean, like secondary market prices. I think Series 1 is. I don't think anything's going to beat Series 1. So hopefully these are a little bit easier to get.
I'm wondering when we get these in Japan. Like, I don't think I've heard anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if you're just going to get them in like.
So I did read something where they were saying a second subset will come after the 30th anniversary set that comes out. I think it was like October or sometime, but they're saying some kind of smaller subset will come out after it in Japan. And so maybe it's going to be all of these. I don't know. But yeah,
Could be.
I'll wait for him in Japanese and then I'll get him. Any more news?
Not really. There have been some unconfirmed leaks regarding the 30th anniversary set. No big reveals though, just sort of like dates and like
Okay.
SKU numbers and stuff like that. I didn't
Mm.
bother bringing up today, but I will let people know I'm keeping an eye on that. So if we know anything about the big 30th anniversary set, then yeah, we'll update you.
No cards in space recently.
No cards in space recently. Um,
Damn.
all we do know about the 30th anniversary is that we're getting a new rarity, and like we talked about before, it's some sort of like chrome rare or like delta species crystal Pokemon thing. So
Those are going to be so sick. I'm excited for those. The Mew and the Mewtwo that they showed in that little like kind of teaser trailer.
yeah, Mewtwo. I believe these leaks are suggesting that there's going to be a Pikachu, Gengar, and Umbreon as well, which is pretty concerning. Um, if one set has all those Pokemon, we're screwed. I don't think they could print enough. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless they've
Period.
been
Like full
printing it for
stop.
like a couple years. Even then, watch everybody eat through it.
Yeah, like look at 151. It's
Yeah.
been almost 3 years since that set came out. It's just
True, true.
yeah. So I'm worried about that. That's my update. Q&A time.
Yes, sir. I got some fun Q&A stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I probably should have like some of these probably told you so you could think about, but we'll just get your on the spot answer now. You got to be creative, maybe.
Okay.
This is practice for the live. 779 Jake. Oh no, Team Rocket has taken over. Trainers need to keep at least one Pokemon on them at all times for defense or for sacrifice if that's your thing. What? That didn't transition like I wanted it to. What Pokemon will trainers Oliver and Shug choose? Find out next time on The Weekly Weedle. So we're fighting Team Rocket. We got to have somebody with us Pokemon.
Who's the strongest Pokemon? Arceus? Giratina?
It says for sacrifice too.
If that's your thing.
I'm sacrificing Jinx.
Ooh. Against Team Rocket? I mean, I'll probably just give them the Pikachu.
Ooh, they've been after it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's your villain arc right there. Oliver from Sleep No Card Behind just gives Team Rocket, after 30 years of them trying to get Pikachu, just hand it over to them.
All they had to do was ask.
Say please.
Yeah. I mean,
I would pick Dragonite, I think, if I was like gonna fight them. But I'd sacrifice Jinx, Mr. Mime. Who else? Bruxish. Bruxfish? I don't know, Bruxish.
Arctozolt. Also, Sarcophagus. Not a
You don't
fan
like
of.
that?
No, I don't. Don't like
The
that
ghost,
Pokemon.
like, the coffin Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that Pokemon. That's so sick.
Why?
I don't know. It's just cool. I don't know. It's a mummy.
Okay.
A mummy, like,
I'm not
Pokemon,
judging.
ghost
I
Pokemon.
was just curious why.
All right. Cool question. Young Thai PC, shout out to Young Thai PC, said, what's your most undervalued item in your collection and why do you think people underappreciate it?
Oh, that's a good
I should have told you. Sorry.
That's a good question.
While you think about it, I'll show you mine.
Okay.
All right. So this is a postcard. Here's the back of it. A postcard, and I don't know anything about it. I've looked for them. They're super rare. I've only ever seen one for sale, and I've seen there's supposedly a Pikachu, a Chikorita, and a Meryl. There might be one more that I'm missing, but those are the only three that I can remember. I have never seen the Pikachu. There's like no images of the Pikachu online that I could find. I've seen the Chikorita. There's like one or two people on Instagram that I saw have it. And I only found one listing of this in the last 6 months, maybe longer, that was ever available. It's a tatami mat postcard though. So like the bamboo floors that you see in Japanese houses, the bamboo straw mats, they made it into a postcard and they printed a Meryl on it. So it's pretty thick for a postcard, but super cool, super unique. Don't know if it's undervalued. For just based on rarity alone, I would think it's undervalued. I think I got it for like $40, maybe. So to the right person that it would be looking for these, maybe it's undervalued. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got two answers since they're right in front of me. This is a great question, though. Maybe I'd have to dive into it more. But answer number one is my Canadian Pokemon Kellogg's cards, which I've shown multiple times. English on the front, French on the back. Yeah, these are
That's cool.
still dirt cheap. Yeah, so if you're a Canadian that grew up in the early 2000s, you might remember these. But if you're not, then you don't know about them. I don't, like you said, I don't know if they're undervalued. No PSA 10s exist, though. I will say that. I thought this Bulbasaur would get a 10, so I sent it in. It got a 7, so screw those guys. My other answer is the red logo packs. I think these are undervalued. Maybe not by a lot, but they don't they hover around first edition prices. I mean, so I have the unlimited one here.
Really?
And then yeah, it kind of hovers around the same price as a first edition regular jungle pack.
Oh, first edition jungle pack. I don't know why I was thinking first ed base.
Oh no, jungle, yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
But no, these are still, the fossil one's worth a little more, but I still think these are super cool. Yeah, I don't
that is
know.
cool.
Definitely, like, I think this should be worth a couple $100 more than it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're
Both those are really cool. I like that Bulbasaur. Do they ever have like, I think you were talking about this before and I can't remember. do they ever like, did they cut them off of sheets? Like, is there ever full sheets you can find of those? That'd be really cool to
Man,
buy like an uncut sheet and then
I've
frame it.
never seen an image of an uncut sheet. I'm sure there are uncut sheets. Um,
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
yeah, never seen an image. I know you can get a pack with all 20 cards sealed.
Yeah, that's you were saying something like that, and somebody reached out to you and like said they had one, right?
Yeah, I didn't know it existed till someone emailed me, and I was like, I'll give you whatever you want for it. He's like, no, this is mine. That's
That's
fair.
funny.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's how I feel about some of my stuff, though. I think Pokemon Steven,
Yeah.
the YouTuber, he was like got into collecting postcards around the time I picked this Meryl up, and he posted on his Instagram stories like, "Oh, Pokemon postcards have the best art," and they really do. There's so many like vintage postcards that have such great art. I recommend 10 out of 10 for people that just want cool art, stuff you've never seen for like how Pokemon have been drawn, to go look at old vintage postcards of those. But he's like, yeah, so let somebody like reach out to me if you have any. And I pretty much just sent him a picture of mine, and he's like, how much do you want? And I was like, nope. And then he just didn't message me back. But yeah,
Love it.
pretty much did what that guy with the Kellogg's cards did to you. Cool question. Billy Anna, what's up, Billy? She said, if Pokemon were real, what would you have out of the Pokeball with you as your buddy? AKA like Ash's Pikachu. People are on the same theme like this episode
Yeah.
with their questions. The Pokemon. This is very similar to the Team Rocket, but maybe you don't need to think about fighting necessarily. Just what Pokemon would you want as your buddy to chill with?
I think Grookey. I like Grookey
Okay.
a lot. I think the most like functional answer is probably Ditto.
Why?
Can just transform into stuff.
Does he transform into objects?
No, but or wait,
People.
can Ditto transform into other things?
What are
I
your
was just think,
intentions with this Ditto, Oliver?
hey, I can't have a Lickitung hanging out all the time.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I'll edit that out. I'm just saying, like, can have a Grookey one day, Pikachu another day. If you need to move something, you got a Machamp. If you need to cross a body of water, then you got a Lapras.
Yeah. Think if I had to pick one, you're making me want to change my answer because your Pokemon are very functional. But I think I would like want an Arcanine or like a Houndoom, like a dog.
Yeah, a dog or a cat would be cool. Or a
Yeah.
Grookey.
Yeah. Or Grookey or Ditto. All right. Next question. DC from the V. If you could pick one real life form to be made into, oh, this is another one I should have told you beforehand. If you could pick one real life form to be made into a new Pokemon for Gen 10, what would it be? Animal, plant, fungi
Ooh.
are all fair game, just no inanimate objects.
Ooh.
So no Rotom Pokemon. No
Do we?
refrigerator.
We don't have a platypus Pokemon yet, do we?
I was going to say platypus.
No, you weren't.
I was going to say it.
Well, I beat you.
All right. Platypus is a good one.
I think platypus would be cool. Hmm.
I had a backup because I thought you might say that, but I can't remember. What is real life form? What, knowing like we know for sure it's a real, or
Yeah,
what about
like an
what about aliens?
organism.
Okay.
Aliens. I think I would like to see a Black Widow Pokemon.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Do we have a spider Pokemon? Spidops? Is that the only one?
Spidops, Spinarak,
Oh yeah, we have a few.
Tarantula.
Is that a Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. So a Black Widow.
Yeah, I think a Black Widow, a spooky, dark ghost type Black Widow Pokemon would be cool.
Bug's a good one. Do we have an Aerodactyl Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh, we cut this out.
Do we have a Dragonite Pokemon yet?
Oh my god.
Do we have a Charizard? That'd be
Why am I
cool.
struggling with this? Every Pokemon I think of is like a Okay, I would we have like 2 elephant Pokemon already. We have the Phanpy and Donphan, and then we have what's the newer steel type one from
I
Sword
don't
and
know.
Shield.
I don't know.
I'd pick, I don't know, an elephant, I guess. Yeah. Every
Okay.
animal I think of, I'm trying to think of a new one that we don't have, and I can't think of anything.
I know. I even went like I was like I like fossil Pokemon. I think Archaeopteryx would be sick, and then I was like, we have Archeops. Like they
I don't know what
really
an Archeops is.
Archeops is like this. He's little like blue, yellow, and red bird guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know
Okay.
that famous fossil, the Archaeopteryx?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know this Pokemon now that I pulled it up. I was like, oh, I know some of these.
I like Archeops. He's one of my favorite like newer designs.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if this is considered a real life form, but I think an alien type Pokemon would be cool, like Mewtwo, Mew, Celebi, Deoxys. Give us
Ultra
another space
Beast.
Pokemon. Are those aliens?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give us another alien. I would
More
take an alien
aliens.
Pokemon. Yeah,
More aliens.
just not Ultra Beast aliens, but like the cool aliens: Mewtwo, Mew, Deoxys, Celebi, those kinds.
Mewtwo and Mew are aliens?
Dude, how did they not? What else are they? What are they?
Well, Mewtwo is like a man-made Pokemon.
Yeah, but Mew looks like an alien. No,
Does
it's
Mew look
cute.
like? I guess Mew is like a yeah, like a cute alien.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on.
Okay.
um, Blue 2 YT. Would the Pokemon craze still happen if Prismatic didn't exist? Yes.
Yep.
I don't know enough about English, but I'm going to say yes, it would have.
Yeah.
Prismatic was not that amazing. I mean, there's good cards in it, but I don't like
Prismatic
the Terrestrial cards.
was really hyped because the market was already super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was honestly I think it was Pokemon TCG Pocket that really helped with that, but every boom that we have, there's been multiple factors. It's always been a sort of like a perfect storm situation. We've never had one single catalyst. In this case, I think Pocket and Prismatic in the holiday season, and I don't know, maybe some influencer or something all really work together to really make that happen.
Yeah. Some influencer.
Yeah, I think Prismatic definitely helped. It came at a weird time. There just was not enough product. But no, I don't think it's a reason. I don't think it kicked off this boom.
Yeah. Agreed. Next
Trigger.
and last question. B Vermin. How are you guys doing? Like, how are you really doing? I'm so tired, boss.
I'm also tired. Content creation is such a grind.
That's why I don't do it.
We're doing it right now.
Oh, that's true. This
Yeah.
is carried by you, though. Definitely carried.
I don't know. You're teeing up the questions.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at reading. I'm doing good, B Vermin. Thank you for asking.
I'm doing good, but to open up a little bit, I'm really tired of this Pokemon market.
I thought you were gonna say this podcast. I'm really
I'm
tired of
just
this
over
Pokemon
this
podcast. This is our last episode.
No, the market's just like, oh man, it's been so stressful.
I really haven't felt it.
No, I'm feeling a lot of FOMO.
Okay, yeah, I felt that,
It
but I
sucks.
don't know. I think the FOMO does suck. But I think I have like I just kind of look back at my collection now, and I'm like, damn, I got a pretty decent collection.
Yeah, yeah, same. Like my collection has grown like crazy, but I'm like a spoiled iPad kid, and I'm just seeing more cards that I want every day, and prices are just like going up faster than I can make money. And I'm getting price out of stuff, and I'm seeing other people like I'm seeing some like market manipulation, stuff like that. I'm seeing people pump cards, and I'm just like, I don't have that card. Not because I don't want to miss out on the pump, but it's like I just want that card, you know? And it's
Yeah.
just I don't know, the collector in me is sad right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably agree with you.
But at the same time, like you said, I've got a big collection. Like if 10-year-old me saw my collection now, I'd probably die. I'd probably like just die
Right?
on the spot, right?
You're like, no way, dude.
So I do try and like appreciate what I have, but the collector in me is also suffering. Like I don't know. It's like a few years ago, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna finish my Wizards Black Star promo set, and now I look at it and I'm like, that's not going to get finished. Or like first edition base set, I'm like, ah man, that's probably not going to get finished now. The no rarity set is something I wanted to do, but now I'm like, that's also I can't do that now.
I just picked up like 4 no rarity cards the other day on Mercari for it was 4. They were just like commons, uncommons. But it was like $35 for 4 of them.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought it was a good price. I was like, ooh, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So I'm only like 100 away from completing. I think I have like 18 no rarity cards and 1 hollow, the
Oof.
Zapdos.
I passed up on a Venusaur last year.
Damn.
Yeah. It was a PSA 6. It was really cheap. And I was like, oh, I just like favorited it or starred it or whatever for later. And yeah, it's gone. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like that definitely sucks. Like stuff's just out of reach now, and it's like some of it I think might correct and come back down, but I don't know. I feel like it's reached a point of no return. Like even if all this stuff corrects, I'm kind of I like I'm in a position where like I might be able to choose one thing, you know? I can't have everything I want anymore.
Yeah. Gotta get more creative.
Yeah. Do we have something to announce?
Oh yeah, thank God for your memory because I would have just totally skipped over that. We are next episode. We are going to do a live episode. I don't know what time it is for everybody, but it's our normal recording time, so it'll be 10 p.m. Japanese Standard Time for me. And then what time is it over where you are?
It'll be 6 a.m. Pacific Daylight
Okay,
Time or
there we go.
PST. Lots of people still say PST. But
I say
yeah,
PST.
yeah. So 6 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. We know it's early for most of you. This is more of a test run for us.
Yeah.
So don't panic, don't stress out if you can't be there. It'll still be up on YouTube on Wednesday. You can still watch it. Yeah,
I'm excited to see how it goes.
yeah, yeah. It's more of a test run. Don't stress about it. It's all
We do
good.
need some people there though to like give us feedback probably during
We need at least
it
one person to show up. Yeah.
to have some like, hey, audio's good or like, I don't know, just interact with.
If you're up at this time, please stop
Yeah.
by at least for a bit.
Calling sick to work. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for listening to episode 27, and we'll see you next week live.